You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? I didn't bring down my notebook. All right, Jeff. You ready? Okay. Me too. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about
board games
and
board gaming things.
Exactly. I'm wearing my Michigan sweater today in dedication of Kyle King.
Kyle loves Michigan sports.
Yeah, it's his favorite team in the whole wide world. So you should maybe comment down below how much you too love Michigan.
Go blue.
Go blue.
Troll.
We are here today to do another pumped up Kickstarters video, okay? And today's video is actually going to be on Kickstarters that are upcoming, that we are very excited for.
That we're going to spend more money on.
Probably. We haven't, I don't know about you, but I haven't backed any of the ones that I'm talking about.
I haven't, but I will be.
Yes, that's pretty much the exact same way that I feel. And just for an update from our last video, I did end up going all in on Final Girl Season 2. So, you know, It is what it is. So, we each have 5, and I also have some honorable mentions. Would you like to start, or would you like me to start?
I can start.
Okay.
First up for me, Jamie has actually mentioned in the past. It's coming very soon, and I thought I would mention it again, and that is Skyrise from Roxley Games. So in Skyrise, players are playing as visionary architects that are basically building a utopian city in the sky. Apparently this is a sequel to a game we've never played, I've never even heard of until today, called Metropolis.
Yes.
With a spatial bidding mechanism.
What does that mean?
Don't know.
Bidding in space?
I'll tell you what, though. The artwork is what sold me on this bad boy. Anytime there's like some sort of, I don't know, alternate-esque utopian, like
a dystopia, utopia.
Yeah.
Futuristic,
you know what I mean.
Like what the world could possibly be.
We'll plop it up on the screen and you'll
plop
see
it
what I'm
up.
talking about. But like,
Plop.
we also love Roxley Games. They're Canadian, which is also a benefit.
You love to see it.
I'd be very shocked if this is not a game that we were super into.
Yeah.
So,
okay, so my first one is going to be Dracula, Fangs and Pitchforks. This is from Ludos Studio, and it is a social deduction wordplay game. Argue for victory, convince Dracula not to eat you while keeping your agenda hidden. Social deduction game with artwork by the Miko, who is the same artist that does...
I could tell.
Yeah, you can very easily tell. Same artist that does Merchant's Cove.
I think he does the Five Realms games.
Yeah. First of all, I love spooky games. I love anything that has to do with like dark type creatures, like Dracula and like vampires and werewolves and ghosts and skeletons and all that stuff. This is set in Transylvania. It says the local villagers have received the unwanted pleasure of joining Dracula for dinner. All I know is that it's a social deduction game that's about Dracula, and the art is amazing. And it looks like it is only cards, so just card-based game. So I think could be really fun, like party game during spooky season. Yeah. So I am definitely here for it. And you can pre-order this on Ludos store right now for $34, I assume US. It is coming to Kickstarter soon as well. So you'll be able to back it, which I assume will come with like some stretch goals. And
yeah, I should mention, I don't think any of mine have pledge managers open yet.
No, I don't think mine do either.
Yeah.
They're upcoming. But what you can do is you can follow and save the projects.
Yep.
Cool. So that's my first one. Dracula, Fangs and Pitchforks.
Next one up for me is from a publisher I've never heard of before. I don't know if this is their first game or not. Publisher is called Tactical Games, and the game is called Atlas Lost: Rise of the New Sovereigns. So, let me just do a little brief read here for you, and tell me if this is not a game that you would think that I would be.
I can tell by the cover that it's a game you'd be interested in.
This is the quick description. This game is set in Atlas Lost, a world ruined by AI warfare. Players try to unearth lost technology and take control of a new world. Where will you go? What will you focus on? And what kind of world will you aim for? Atlas Lost: Rise of the New Sovereigns is a tech tree, resource management, and civilization game that can be played by 2 to 4 players.
Yeah, that's like Jeff in a nutshell right there.
I get a little bit of Beyond the Sun vibes with the tech tree component to this. I also just love Civ games, and I just stumbled across this one. I don't really know anything about it, but definitely one I'm going to keep my eye on.
Okay, so the next one on my list is called Mushroom Sorcerer, and the artwork is a bunch of little adorable animals wearing hats and cloaks and overalls and capes, and I don't even know. I'm just so excited. It says it's a 1 to 4 player game with area control and variable player powers, battle with other sorcerers, and win the seat of the Great Sorcerer. So this one, Jeff, just look at it. It's for ages 14 plus, which is actually kind of surprising to me. I thought maybe it'd be a kid's game, but there is a component to this.
What's that in the middle?
Yeah, I'm going to show you. Hold on. Okay, it doesn't actually show it. But there is a component to this where you're actually like building things up like in the middle of the board. So I feel like it might be a little bit of like area control. What else does it say?
Bloom, potion, dual dominance.
It says harness various elements from the GUs, whatever that is. Pick and grow your desired GU among the 5 GU species and gain elemental support and expand your territory. So I feel like this is a bit of territory control, but it is bright. It's cute. I love it. I want it. I have to have it. And it's for 1 to 4 players. So I don't know. I'm just very, very excited. I've heard nothing about this game. Nothing. So I have no idea when it's coming out. I'm very excited.
Next up for me is a little game called Moon.
Yeah.
And Jamie actually had flagged this one for me. Moon is from Sinister Fish Games, I believe. You're trying to attract people to your lunar bases that you're creating for people from Earth. And that is done through a pick and pass. They call it pick and pass, but like hand drafting mechanic. Mm-hmm. It's a really small box card-driven game. There's a few small components, but so it's for 1 to 5 players. It looks like one that hits a few things for us. Space theme for me. I really like that, you're building lunar bases. It's very cute art for Jamie. Yeah. It's small box that I think we could travel with. Mm-hmm. And I'm super interested in it. All
right, so my next one is called Age of Comics, The Golden Years. This is from Lyrius Games, which I've never heard of before either. A worker placement board game in which you play the role of a fictional comic book publisher during the golden age of comics. Oh,
that's cool.
Yes, it is very cool. And like the art style is very comic booky, of course. For 1 to 4 players, it plays over 60 to 110 minutes for 14 plus. You can play it right now on Tabletopia. I don't know anything about this. So essentially when I get excited for things, it's 90% theme and art. It says in the game you must allocate your editors, aka your meeple workers, hire your creative team, find the right ideas, publish the best comic books across genres: horror, superhero, sci-fi, crime, western, and romance, collect royalties, walk the streets of Manhattan, and get the best newsstands to gather the highest number of fans. I love everything about that.
Next up for me is actually a relaunch of an early existing campaign that I just don't think ever came to fruition. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with, and that is Bloodstone from Druid City Games. Bloodstone was actually put on my radar almost a year ago by Doolin over at Table Knots.
Doolin loves it.
He is super interested in this game. It seems to be that they're just relaunching the campaign. Say what you want about Bloodstone. I wasn't involved in the first campaign of this, so I don't really have any feelings about that. All I'll state is that I'm very interested in this new relaunch. Bloodstone is, from what I can gather, an arena battler using a dice mechanic. So you roll, move your characters around, and you're just fighting in this big arena. Kind of, I'm assuming, similar to Super Fantasy Brawl. I guess we'll just kind of see what happens with it.
Definitely a very Jeff game. It's not very cute. My next one is called Soul of Ankirel, the strategy game. I was initially attracted to this because the picture on Kickstarter is just so pretty. It's like all these nice blues and purples, and the art is really nice. So then I looked into it, and also sounds really cool. It's a strategic card game in which players will embrace alchemic forces to summon powerful creatures and challenge on the battlefield. So when I looked into it more, the artwork is amazing. It's like intense Pokemon, basically. And then I look at, like, Jeff, look, there's a flying cat. And what is this?
Looks like a Zubat.
It's literally
and a
like
Meowth combined.
A polar bear mixed with a pigeon. I'm obsessed. So it says, Soul of Ankirel. The board game is a living card game where players will compete using thematic decks of 25 cards, one of each element or temen. The aim of deactivating the emanation portals on the opponent's field. To do this, players will move their creatures on the board. Then it will be up to them to make the most of the map and achieve victory. It just looks really cool. The artwork is what sold me. And I don't know when it's coming out, but I can't stop looking at all the little creatures. So
last one for me is going to be a complete money sink.
Yeah.
It's a CMON game.
I'll do it.
Don't know when it's going to be launched, but it is Cyberpunk 2077, the board game. This is a combination CMON and CD Projekt Red, who created the Witcher series of video games and had a much less successful launch of the Cyberpunk 2077 video game, which had so many bugs and so many issues. Say what you will about the video game, the theme and storyline of that game is very interesting to me. It's obviously a CMON game. It's going to come with a ton of miniatures. It's going to cost way too much money, but I'm into it. CMON lately has done a lot of like Marvel stuff, which I'm not overly interested in. So this is definitely a CMON game that I'm definitely going to get in on. So I've kind of avoided all the other, heavy money CMON games that have come out recently, but this one I'm not going to avoid.
All in, baby.
I know that Cyberpunk had a ton of bugs, but I actually enjoyed the gameplay for the most part. And again, I really like the story. I have no idea. I didn't even know this existed until today. I don't know when it's coming out. I don't know how long we're going to have to wait. Definitely back in that bad boy.
Yep. Is this attached to you? Wow, that's a very long face hair. Look how long it is.
Okay, pull it out then.
Out of your face? That's a long one. The last one on my list before I mention my honorable mentions is called Goblin Uprising.
I don't have any honorable mentions.
I have enough for both of us. Goblin Uprising is from Dream Valley Studios. It is a board game for 2 to 6 players. You play as a goblin and lead the revolution to topple the tyrannical tall races. So I was like, oh, artwork, really cute. But Jeff, look at those miniatures. Adorable. Chibi. Very chibi. It says it's a competitive board game featuring the world's favorite punching bags, goblins. Or goblins.
That's true.
Yeah, it's
I've never
true.
thought of that. It is true. Goblins are always the little weak things that get beat up on.
Yeah. It has amazing looking miniatures.
Oh, wow.
Like a cat.
It reminds me a little bit of the artwork in Familiar Tales.
Yes, it does. Definitely it does. Like, look at all of these. Oh my God, we need this.
That's a lot of miniatures. That cannot be cheap.
This. 58 miniatures. So we're getting that. The main objective of the game is simple. Defeat the tyrant sitting on the center of the map. First goblin to achieve this feat wins the game. I wonder if it's like tower defense.
It reminds me a little bit of Valor and Villainy.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
For some reason. I don't know why. But...
You're gathering loot. You have different goals. You're defeating enemies. You're leveling up and getting stronger.
Cool. I'm into that.
I am into this. It's adorable, and the actual like gameplay seems like something that Jeff would like. Person versus person, co-op, or campaign. Wow. Okay. And look at it.
Yeah, it looks cool.
A stunner. A stone cold stunner. Okay, so some of my honorable mentions. I did want to throw a mention out to Septima, which a lot of people have been talking about lately, so that's why I didn't highlight it, because I'm sure you've heard about it. But this is from Mind Clash Games. It's coming very soon. It's about a witch coven. You're enthralling the townsfolk, rising to power as the new Septima in the most accessible Mind Clash game yet. The artwork looks amazing. It's good for spooky season. Theme on point. Love to see it. I'm excited. Because we're Canadian, I'm excited for Trick Shot 2nd Edition. So this is a game that was already out, and I have seen it in stores before. This is the new edition, and I believe that this is a dexterity hockey game.
I've heard of Trick Shot.
Yeah.
I've never played it.
Look.
Yeah, I'm into that.
I just think that it just looks like a silly, fun game.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of hockey games out there, and I'm a hockey player, so like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I think we'll probably back that one. I think it looks really, really cool. Then, because I love spooky season, I love horror, there's a game called The Horror Game Show, the board game. The description says, a board game about brutal retro vibe TV show. Sign contracts, buy gear, hire players, prepare dirty tricks, and make your studio famous. So it's like a spooky take on a TV studio type of game. I really don't know like anything about it other than I think the theme is really cool.
Yeah.
So those are my 3 kind of honorable mentions. I could probably go on and on. So those are some of the Kickstarters that are upcoming that we are very, very excited for. We would love to hear about the ones that you're excited for, because why not add more to our list? Right? We have a whole channel dedicated to Kickstarters in our Discord. It's called Pumped Up Kickstarters. It's very fitting.
It's very popular.
It's a very popular channel. So if you are interested in staying up to date on Kickstarters, you want to talk about them, you may as well join the Discord.
There are some people in there that are dropping some dollars on Kickstarters.
Yeah.
Whew.
including me and also him.
Or just a drop in the bucket.
We're just a drop in the bucket.
Yep.
That is all that we have for you guys today. So if you're interested in buying board games, once the Kickstarters come out and go retail, you should first start by checking your friendly local gaming store. And for us here in Halifax, that is
Boardroom Game Cafe.
It sure is. That's all we have for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see,
Please subscribe.
we hope to see you again soon. And now we say goodbye.
Later days. There it is.
What happened?
My shoulder was starting to hurt.
Old man Beal.
Yep.
Find you shining away. He does the artwork for Merchants of... No, he does the artwork for Merchants Cove and Bardwood Song... No. Bardwood Grove. And Bardwood Grove.
Atlas, Lost, was actually put on my radar.
Hi. Do you have something to say? Gotcha.
That hurt.
I don't know. I can't not do it. Okay.